sliding scap reaches. Alright, this is one of my new favorites. Kind of been working on some different variations of this. Fiddle farting around. And actually these are the bow slide that you can buy. You can go buy furniture sliders and it's the same thing. You could use paper plates, which I've done before. So really whatever gets the job done. Main thing here, you're going to have her, I'm going to show you with one. You can also alternate on these, but starting off I would suggest just using one and having the other hand stable, okay? But get into a quadruped position, so just make sure she's got that neutral spine, abs are braced, she's not rounding here, you got a little protraction going on so she's not sinking. Make sure she's protracting just a little bit with the shoulder blades. And then from here, you can do different hand positions. You could get creative with this. So see what she's comfortable with. The main thing is that when you're reaching, this side, this elbow is going to bend just a little bit, and you can have her reach as far as she feels comfortable. I mean, even if it's here, or if she's able to reach way out here, okay? But typically what I'll do is I'll have clients reach not directly ahead, kind of out at an angle, okay, like I was just doing. And then more out this way. You can even go sideways. But I would say that the straight ahead but angled version, so I'm saying straight ahead but it's not directly ahead. Going ahead and then out a little bit would be the two positions to do. So you can either knock out reps with one and then do reps of the other side and then go to the angled and do the angled on the other side, or you can alternate ahead and going at the angle. So that's a great little way to get those shoulder blades responding, all those muscles working to encourage good posture, but also you're getting some core from it. So, alright, that ends the corrective stuff. Now we're going to tie it all together and do some total body movements. So, this first thing I'm going to show, we're going to do some single leg work. And we're going to start off with something you've probably seen me done, because I added in MTM, but this is another thing that I make almost all of my clients do. I usually use it at the beginning of their programs as a assessment tool, because it gives me a lot of feedback, not only in regards to their balance, but also just how everything's working together. Big time assessment for their ability to hinge, okay, as well as leg strength, core strength, everything. So we're just going to do a single or a staggered stance anterior reach. Okay. So we're going to set up roughly a foot from the target. Right leg's forward, we're going to be reaching with the left hand. So both knees are slightly bent. Reaching to touch it, and then just standing back up. So you want to make sure, have her breathe out when she stands up. This knee's going to bend. Back leg straight, but just make sure she's not locking it out, okay? Heel is up on that back foot. So knock out probably 10 reps, switch sides. A fun way to kind of fart around with this little drill is if you have like the little cones, which I have a bunch in my trunk, but I can't even begin to tell you if this will work with them. I've used a larger cone to do this. But you can set the cone up and have a tennis ball and have them hold the tennis ball. Place it on the cone, stand back up, reach back down, pick the tennis ball up, stand up, and you can count reps that way. So that's just a little fun way of mixing it up that way. Okay. Next step in the progression is going to be a staggered stance, hip hinge and rotation. So on this one, what we're going to do, let's get her arms out on this one versus using a dowel rod. So she's forced to work that upper back a little bit. So just arms are straight out like a T. Have her hinge first, and then you're going to rotate that right leg forward. We're going to rotate that left hand towards that object, actually underneath the object back. Give you a visual. Okay, we'll start over. Hinge it, rotate, bring it back, and then stand it up. Hinge it, rotate, and stand up, okay? So that's just a staggered stance, hip hinge, and rotation. Third thing we're going to do is a single leg anterior reach. So building on that staggered stance, we're going to take it to a single leg. So what I like to do on this one, because you'll see all kinds of different ways of doing single leg work, I like to have my clients flex the hip, knee, and ankle, just because I feel like it keeps the hips in a more level position. Because if you have somebody with this position here, okay, what I feel is that it lets you drop this hip on the side that's free. So I feel it's a little bit better to have them use this as a starting stopping point. So with the anterior reach, same thing as staggered, you get a little bit more balance work, obviously. Reach in, breathing out. Okay, so it's working. We're working all those squatting muscles. We're also working on ankle mobility and stability of the knee. Tons of good stuff going on. So again, everybody that I train starts off with doing some sort of anterior reach, and I usually do a lot of single leg work on an ongoing basis with people. So that's just the single leg. If you wanted to make that harder, you could have her go with an overhead arm, okay? So makes it a little bit trickier because we're extending the length of this lever right here versus going here, okay? So that overhead arm position might make it a little bit more challenging. Okay, the fourth progression out of the group is going to be a triplanar reach. So let's see. We're going to use these guys. I'm going to set these up. I'm going to show you this way so that you can see what's going on. Okay. Try not to kick the window as I do this. Alright, so you get them set up, kind of in an upside down V position, and have her make, or like a diamond, and have her stand where the point of the diamond would be here at the bottom. So again, we're going to be working this right leg, but it's triplanar, so we're reaching 3 different positions, breathing out after each one. Okay, you could also do the overhead arm position with that as well. You can make this one fun. You could take away this forward one, just have her reach in left and right. All kinds of different things you could do with this. So this is just a triplanar kind of setup that I've always used. And okay, that ends the single leg progression.